I am sorry. He has said, I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'm sorry, I was misled. Now I'll get on my Damascus moment. He's saying that for political reasons, but he has said it. Let at least Matiang'i confront his ghost, which he knows those ghosts. Because if you want to tell us, forget about the past, now just take me, and you don't tell us what to forget about. I'm a Catholic. I have to go for confession and tell God what it is. So he has to come out clearly and confront this ghost and tell us clearly what happened. Because if you look at how Matiang'i broke away, Matiang'i was to be arrested by William Ruto. There was a time he was being arrested. Even Raila was in his compound. Then all of a sudden, he came back and nearly joined the Wagusi came, had a meeting. He nearly joined UDA. Then he went quiet. So we do not know how he broke away again from there. No, this is on record, because I'm talking about what's on record.
Okay.
What happened, what negotiation took place for him not to be arrested because there was a case that was against him by the current government, isn't it? So he
all these things are coming out now?
No, but listen, I'm mentioning facts, because when Gachagua was confronted by Ruto, he went all the way to impeachment.
Okay.
You get me?
Gentlemen, I would
but
have
this
about...
one was, this looked like a handshake
Yes.
and a chinia meza.
Yes.
So I'm not saying there is anything. We want him to
But there's a lot of suspicion either way.
Yes, he has
Gentlemen,
to come
let me
and
give you each
confront.
about 2 minutes for your final words.
You need to give me slightly more, because now I have to...
Go ahead.
First, we appreciate, and on behalf of Jubilee, we appreciate all the feedback we're getting from these guys. And we will listen to them, and we will take what makes sense for us. We hear what they think we should be doing. They hear what they think we should be saying. We hear what they think we should be carrying ourselves with. But you see, ultimately, Jubilee is going to make the decision that is in the best interest of Jubilee as a party. Number one. Number two, if it's about name recognition of a party, I don't think there's anybody in this country who doesn't know Jubilee. If it's about numbers of members of parliament, we are the third largest party in the country by fact. In terms of numbers. If it is about members, 7 million, they have not retracted. Even as of this month, we still have 7 million people in our books as members of the party. So we appreciate the fear. A lot of people would have wanted Jubilee to disappear so that we create space for them to invest and then take over. But I think we also need to move away from this feeling or this belief that every new presidential party, every new presidential candidate has to create a new party. I hear that a lot coming from this side, that, when you're running for president, first go and build a party so that people can know what kind of person you are. Why do you need to do that? Which other country, how are we going to say that every time we have a new presidential candidate, you have to come up with a new party? No, we also need to have parties as institutions. And I want to congratulate Matiang'i for actually breaking the trend of having to come and build a new party. And I say this specifically for this. Matiang'i has determined he's going to do his politics different. Matiang'i is not going to go insulting anyone. That is not how he does politics. He's not going to call people names. He's not going to cast aspersions. He will call wrong for wrong. But remember, Matiang'i is building his presidential brand and profile now. We wait for 2 days. We see how he takes off. We see how he deals with that now as a presidential candidate, as an official presidential candidate. Other people have declared themselves. Matiang'i wants to be declared. Matiang'i wants to be given an endorsement by a party that exists. That's a very brave thing to do, especially as people have pointed out, this is a party that is not normally associated with where he comes from. So he's going to ask people who are not normally his people, would you vote for me as president? So the first thing that Jubilee is doing is endorsing somebody who is not associated with where they're supposed to be strong, and saying, you know what, Fred, we actually believe you can be president. Once we have a party that is not associated with you endorsing you to run for president, you are ahead of everybody else who's only been endorsed by his family. So that's the first thing we need to agree. Then when he hits the ground and we see what he's doing, I want to finish by saying, let the other opposition leaders stop imagining, or they need to get out of this sense of entitlement. Nobody is going to define for another opposition leader how they're going to do their politics. Okay. Ultimately, the unity of purpose within the opposition is going to be based on principle. And it doesn't mean that if you're in opposition, you're a saint. You can be in opposition and be a devil, and we will call you out. It doesn't mean that everybody who is on the side of the opposition is a good person, right? So if you're a bad person and you're in opposition, we will call you out. There's this feeling that we are all in opposition, so please don't say bad things about Professor because you are going to disunite us. Then we go with you, then you reach in government and you start doing bad things. No, we will deal with you now before you get into government. All right. So that when we go into government, We don't have bad people who will start getting us attacked as a government because we carried them and we don't want to criticize them when we're in opposition because we're scared of disunity.
Okay. Thank you, Barambugu. Fred, Professor, final comment.
Mine is to say that the more we move away from personality politics, the better. We need to focus on institutions, systems, structures. And I want to urge all the members of the opposition that let us unite, but let us not unite only with a call for one term. Let us unite with a purpose to solve people's problem, which is currently economic, followed by rule of law. You remember now, SHA is in trouble, healthcare is in challenges, education is in challenges. Let us do what we can do now. Let us not postpone, because the person dying of hunger is dying now. That child who can get education can't get it now. That person who cannot pay his hospital bills can't do now. Those people who have their lost members, missing members, those who have died and need justice, they need it now. 2027 is too far. I would prefer those Matiang'is, the Gachaguas, the Kalonzos, all those opposition members being obsessed by people's issue now, and by being with people with them. And I also want to say by telling Kenyans that Kenya needs to evolve from these things of too much tribalism, because I don't like where people say, if this region does not support so-and-so, then they are going to have bad economics. No, let us just have a Kenya that is united. And the Kenyan problem is economic. And let us not look at leaders' qualification in terms of who has been there longer, who can shout more. Let's look at the person who has got the economic formula to solve the Kenyan problem. And I have this solution called Evolve. It's an economic model which can actually help solve Kenya based on Solomonic economics. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor. Finally, Bwana Munyora.
Thank you. I think now I'm clear, and we are all clear, that Matiang'i will be the presidential candidate for Jubilee. Jubilee has confirmed.
We wait for Friday. I would want him to be, but we're in a democratic party.
Insist we wait for the
In
NDC.
so many words. What we are saying is simple, that this opposition, the kind of energy required, the kind of work required to make sure that Ruto is not re-elected, clearly will not come from his direction. And if he's going to be a project of some party, well and good, and we wish him well, but I think people will see through it. And Kenyans are not stupid. Currently, people are suffering. And that is the reason that the one-term clarion call is all over the country. And I think the opposition, they've been saying this, Rigathi has been saying it time and time again, that we need to be united if we are to remove the president. So I think it's good to confirm that Matiang'i's candidature is already with Jubilee. It's also good to know that he's probably a project of some party. And I don't think that will rock the opposition.
All right.
I also want to disagree that you can have an amorphous base that is not well defined. If you are talking politics, politics is about numbers, and numbers do not lie. And that's why when you sit to negotiate, and I know you've read autobiographies by politicians, you've seen they sit down and agree, and then you say, these are the number of votes that I have. This is what I come with.
I will have.
Because if it's good, whether you will have or you have, it's
you don't have
semantics.
Political
But
optimism.
you must have a base that is tangible and people can work with. If you don't have that, there is no way Matiang'i will come and negotiate with anybody and tell them, I have the Gen Z vote, I have this Jubilee phantom votes. He needs to be serious if he's running for president. If he's not,
Right.
it's good to know early.
Thank you for that. Numbers don't lie, indeed, and our numbers online are looking good today. People are watching us on YouTube, TV47 Kenya. Let me sample some of the sentiments there on live chat. Dennis Kamau says, Kibaki wasn't hated in Mount Kenya. He, in fact, got votes in all counties except Murang'a and Kiambu, which went to Matiba. I don't know which discussion that is. There's one... they're still talking about Raila. Raila is playing with our knowledge. He wants to test litmus paper. He will support Ruto. The game Raila is playing is to take the attention of united opposition and start focusing on him. Sambua Mwero says, we shall vote Matiang'i as Kenyans. He remains the best performing CS. Daniel, and that's the only name, politics aside, 2027 Matiang'i, the performer, takes it early morning. irrespective of the party, period. Douglas Makori says, did you see Matiang'i going to DCI to record statement? That's something else. Okay. Keep sending your comments, and I have one more here. Mukarabati TV. Former Nyeri MP Ngojiru Ambogo says Raila Odinga thrives in ambiguity. His latest remarks keep the 2027 race in suspense. I think that's someone just quoting verbatim the Nyeri Town MP. KPLC, Teres Tep KPLC. Jubilee is just trying to be relevant through Matiang'i candidacy. They are looking for one of the popular candidates to revive the party.
So he is popular. Somebody has just told me, Fred.
Yes.
DCP needs to win one by-election. Then you can take them.
Are you fielding any people, any members for, any candidates for the by-elections as Jubilee?
He will announce it on Friday.
Okay, all right.
Everything is on Friday.
Yes, everything is on Friday.
It's on Friday.
Everything.
Okay.
All right, and we had a poll. We had a poll online as well, and I'm just trying to look for it. I have it somewhere here. Yes, where we were asking, who do you think is most likely to win Kenya's 2027 presidential election? There was William Ruto, Raila Odinga, Fred Matiang'i, and Rigathi Gachagua. And according to this poll, Fred Matiang'i is top at 39%.
Thank you very much.
Second is Rigathi Gachagua, 29%. William Ruto comes third. Raila Odinga is fourth. Okay, this is a poll, and it continues online. TV47 Digital, that's our Twitter handle.
Why was I not
X
there?
handle. We will include you, Professor Fred Ogola, on the
No,
next.
by the way, people don't, you just pick the old and the new.
No.
That's why we young people are asking you questions. Why do you disregard us?
I agree with you. I agree with you, Professor.
It is, I have said this severally, I'm running Fred.
And
but
we just
you just
created a new
disregard
problem.
it.
We will include you in the next poll, Professor
No,
Fred
it can't
Ogola.
be that. Some people are never included.
Allow me to acknowledge my panelists this morning, Ngojiru Ambogo, former MP Nyeri Town.
Thank you so much.
Professor Fred Ogola, economics and governance expert, and I commit to you that next time we'll include you in our poll.
Yes.
And Joseph Kamau Munyoro, who for the very first time joins our panel, is the MP Kigumo constituency. Karibu sana, and asante sana for your time at TV.
Thank you, Fred.
The headlines this morning.
Please call him president so that
Yes.
you don't forget.
Yeah.
The headlines this morning. Allow me.
The poll.
Playing Ruto is a big deal, and that's the front page of the Standard. The Daily Nation steered clear of politics, a nation in crisis, looking at the health, education, and devolution sectors. But on the corner here, Jubilee makes a highlight on the front page as well. A lot of politics in our dailies this morning. Well, that's where we dock for State of the Nation this morning. My name is Freddie Ndimuli. Good morning.
Party leader.